Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Reality Kingdom, where we talk all things reality TV or whatever.
Ah,
And today's the day.
finally,
Finally,
I feel like
finally,
this took
though.
10 years to get here. In regular seasons we usually get the cast reveal a week before.
Mhm.
CBS wanted to switch it up a little bit this year and wanted to drop it the day before.
They wanted to play games. Mind you, this doesn't even make fucking sense because how are we supposed to even get into the cast? How are we supposed to get into it, yeah? And you released it literally 8 hours before. Baby, we have jobs.
Some of the girls
Y'all,
have lives.
the way we were at work struggling to look at the cast, struggling to get the girls
I wasn't
down, and
working. I wasn't working a lick today because
girl,
I was trying to figure out the cast.
the customers did not get what they needed today. Not
I felt
today.
so bad. I felt so bad. Them customers were struggling today because I was not doing my job.
And was period. So as you see, we are here today. First of all, if you are here, I'm gonna need you to comment, like, share, and subscribe because this season is going to be our season, the Reality Kingdom season. We will be covering the entirety of the Big Brother 24
The
season.
entirety.
The entirety, period. As you see, we are here bright and early. Well, it's a little late. With the cast reveal, we will be posting this now. We will be posting every single week. We will be covering the premiere. Get into it, and we're gonna give you the real good takes and the real good commentary. So mine as well.
And the real good tea.
Period. So as you see today, we are going to be looking at reacting and drafting the Big Brother 24 cast. Lee, what are your thoughts on the cast in general?
So honestly, it's a whirlwind of thoughts. It's a whirlwind of thoughts. I love it. Honestly, the diversity as a whole, we've spoken about it. They it was I feel like they did better to be a little bit more inclusive this year, but no East Asian representation. None at all. The only Asian representation is Nicole, I believe. Very terrible. I mean, Marvin had to get dropped for us to get a Middle Eastern representation in Joseph. So something, but I do feel like it is a little bit more inclusive. I'm excited to see this cast interact with each other. They all look, I feel like, pretty interesting. I see a few people on the timeline trying to say like it gives boring, but if you remember, we didn't get much from them last year either. And personally, when I got into the interviews last year with BB23, I was like, this cast is going to be boring. I mean, I think Tiffany is a very clear example. We didn't get shit from Tiffany preseason, and she ended up being Queen Mother. So I feel like anything is possible. So I'm very optimistic. I think this is a lot of super fans, which I'm excited about. I think it's a lot of people who has come into play, and I feel like with the fact that so many of them are super fans, it's going to be good regardless.
Period. And as Lee said, here at the Reality Kingdom, we are all for diversity. We are all for inclusion or whatever. And the girls didn't necessarily include or diverse the way that they should, at the capacity that they could have. Mm-hmm. They definitely gave us 50%, which we'll take, but
they love a good 50%.
I'm gonna just let y'all know right now that I'm gonna complain about it. So I don't know, get over it. Anyways, I agree with what Lee said. I don't honestly, at first impressions, I didn't think this cast didn't give. I kind of was like, the cast might give a little bit. I think that first of all, it's hard to just look at a cast and say that this is going to be a boring or interesting cast. Honestly, I can see how maybe it could give bland. But honestly, after literally 5 seconds into watching the videos, you can tell that a lot of them are here to play the game. And honestly, that's all that we can ask for. And honestly, since we did, I feel like this cast versus the last season's cast, this cast has a lot of people who aren't necessarily fans. They have a lot of super fans, and then they have people who was like, girl, do you know what's
they
going
got
on?
they got you off the damn street. Okay.
Literally. And I feel like since they got some of the girls off the streets, we might get that drama that you guys are urging and yearning for. I
feel like we're gonna get more showmances this season. I think it is. I could see it being a little bit more messy, but we don't have shit. Like, I mean, we didn't know what 23 was gonna give until they gave. So I'm very optimistic.
No, literally. So yeah, we're gonna get into the cast over, but first. Very much so in Julie Chen fashion. But first, real quick, we are going to look at the motherfucking house, gag about the house a little bit.
I think the house is so cute. Period.
Let me pull it up.
You got pictures?
I got pictures. Yo. Okay. Let me make it bigger, child. Hold on, it's a lie. I'm tired. I work. Okay. Oh my god, I done made us big. Okay.
There you go. I think the
Boom.
house is so cute this year. Like
It's
the
giving
whole
retro.
retro theme. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I think like I love the beds. I love that they kept the stairs from BB Celeste. Pharaoh don't like it, but he's a hater. It's like I like the desert. I don't know. It's cute. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. I like it.
Time out, everybody. Time out. 1 second. 1 second. We just got breaking news. I'm finna play it. Hopefully, y'all can hear it. This is the interview from Joseph, the replacement cast
Girl,
member.
he got a whole 2-minute video.
Hold on. Let me know what you can hear.
If you have the choice,
can y'all hear this?
Yeah.
To the final two, knowing it would be a close vote or someone you're not close with, but can likely beat, who do you choose?
Girl, he's so fun.
I would take my closest ally because that's a fair game. And if they were my closest ally and we were working hard together, they deserve just as much as I do.
Oh, he is a cutie.
Which seasons of Big Brother have you watched, and who are some of your favorite players?
I've watched Big Brother sporadically, so
girl, he's not
here
a fan.
and there. I watched the last season entirely.
Oh God!
And my favorite player, obviously, would probably be Xavier.
Obviously,
I feel like we have a very similar background, and I like his strategy playing the game.
He a recruit.
The HOH is targeting a close ally of yours. Do you make waves and try to flip the vote, or do you go with the majority and try to keep the HOH happy?
I make waves and try to flip the vote. Definitely not of revealing my cards or my reasoning, but to some extent, I'll try and change it. But at the end of it, if I can, I have to go with the majority.
Would you ever throw a competition? Why or why not?
I would definitely throw a competition, and that is because there's a strategy to keeping targets off your back. And
I'm not gagged.
I'm bored, I fear.
Every opportunity
we could have kept Marvin.
You win HOH. Do you target big strategic players knowing it's
This is the last
risky,
question,
or do you
y'all.
play it safe and nominate people the house wants to block?
I win HOH. I definitely think it depends on when in the game I have HOH. If it's towards the early game, I probably wouldn't go for such big targets. If it's towards later, I'm definitely going for bigger targets.
Great. I'm bored.
I'm not gagged at all. Because for the girls who don't know, Marvin, who was a player on this season, was dropped last minute, like 2 hours ago, and replaced with Daddy Joseph Abdin. He's Middle Eastern, and that was just his exclusive interview dropped just now. So he is going to be replacing Marvin and entering into the game. But we'll get into that later. Back to the house. I think it's cute.
It is. I love the living room, and I
Is that
love
the
the
have not
kitchen.
room, the one at the top with the
I think
slide?
it is.
I mean, I'm not that's a cute room. I want to be in there.
Dude, they sleep on floaties, I fear, which is kind of
That's gonna hurt your back, child.
my back would hurt.
I love the colors.
kitchen.
It gives like 90s, like I don't know.
Very
like,
much so Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Very much so Saved by the Bell.
Back to the Future.
Back to the
that type
Future.
of- yeah,
That
like
energy, that
Jetsons.
feel. The Jetsons, very much so. We were older and now we're here. I don't know. It's giving share. So we love the house, y'all. We do. But however, let's get into the real gag while y'all
The
are really here.
Castiana.
The Cardiana. The Castiana. So, if you do not know, we will let you know how this works is, boom. How this works is there's an empty slate. It's Lee on the left, Farrah on the right. We are going to be drafting this cast. As we choose the people, I will bring them up on the screen and you can visually see the people we're talking about when we start talking about them. And I'll just keep adding to either Lee's side or Farrah's or my side, or whatever. Whoever wins the draft wins the draft. Whoever wins the game, their player wins the draft. You get the fuck out of draft.
Just to
works.
let you know, girls, I am in the lead.
Here you go, y'all.
I am ahead of Pharaoh, 15-10. We have been
That's
doing
not
drafts.
that big of a lead.
We have been doing drafts since BB17, and that was years ago, child. But I have been ahead of him for a while now. So
Yeah,
he needs to keep it up.
Sure. He will be losing this time, and that's the thing. I said that last time, but I mean
the
it
last
this
2 times because you lost to Myra and BB Canteen, but
the next I'm very much so ready to win. Since I keep losing, hypothetically, it's the long game. It's not about winning each round. It's about winning the overall.
okay,
the war. Since I lost the last time, I get to choose the first player this time, which is good or whatever. So, girl, we finna just hop into it. Oh wait, did I want to say something about the overall cast? I didn't. Boom, we finna just hop into it or whatever. The person that I'm going to pick first, hold on.
I'm nervous.
I'm gonna just pop their face up. If I can find it.
I'm scared.
Boom.
Okay.
Is Daniel. Now, there's many reasons why I would like to pick Daniel, but I like it. I shouldn't like it. I'm scared. There's many reasons why I like to pick Daniel, but I'm picking Daniel because I feel like, let me get my notes. First of all, he's clearly here to win. Almost everything he said was basically, anyways, I'm here to win. They were like, well, what are you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna win. Well, what's gonna be? Well, I'm just gonna win. Well, are you gonna take your friend? Well, is my friend gonna beat me? Because if he's gonna beat me, then I'm not gonna take my friend because I'm gonna win. Like, Daniel is here to win, and he's clearly a huge fan. He said he's been applying for 10 years, which means since he was 25, he's been applying every single year for this game, which means he's clearly a super duper uber fan. And not only is he a super fan, he's an actual real super fan. No shade. I'm gonna be real, like, blunt with y'all. I'm gonna be real. We're real at the Reality Kingdom. It's not like Ian, where he just knows all the players. It's not like the girls who just, it's not like Frenchie who, I'm on Twitter. No.
This man knows.
He clearly knows what he's talking about. When they ask him a question, the answer is very thoughtful. He doesn't even just say, well, I'm going to make sure that I get out everybody and I'm going to be a manipulator. I feel like that's kind of what another player in the season gives me. What's that man's name? We'll get into it. Another player in the season gives me, but I feel like Daniel gives, he's actually going to think about what he's doing. He's not going to be, I guess, overbearing, because he's going to genuinely think about the moves he's going to make. He's going to think about his social game. I think he's going to be very meticulous. So I have a lot of hopes for him. He's also not too young. I feel like that's another positive. I feel like when it gets to the younger players, it really does start to hinder them. So I feel like with him, it's a safe bet. He's a great age. He's definitely mature. He knows himself, and he really knows the game, and he really wants to play. So that's my pick, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly excited to see him play. I had him second on my list. I feel like he could really, really do well. Because I feel like with them casting so many fans now, you're gonna have to be a fan to know how to really maneuver the game. Because I feel like there's gonna be so much chaos. There's gonna be so much movement at all time, and I feel like because he just understands the game to the core, he could really do well. Now, I don't really know where he will kind of fit into this cast. Now, but I don't know what most of them will fit into this cast. Like, they all just seem so different. So really, I'm just not too sure, because usually when we see people who are like fans the way he is, he said he's seen every season, including all of the Canadian seasons. I mean, this is a fan down. And sometimes they get in that house and it's like, ooh, this isn't as easy as I thought it would be, and they kind of just freak out and then explode. So I feel like it really could go either way. Does he take it and go to the end with it, or could he flop out in week one overplaying potentially? So I think it honestly could go either way. What is he in his free time? He's an Elvis impersonator. I hope we're not getting that in the house. Please keep that off the feed.
Leave it, boo.
Leave it off the feed. But I think he's gonna be cutthroat, and I like that. Honestly, I think, and then this is going to go into my next pick anyway, but I think this is going to be the season of the gays. Is he gay?
Possibly. I don't know if that's confirmed.
So we ain't going to say that. But him and another player.
I think it's fine. I think, just real quick, I think if people assume straightness, if you just assume everybody's straight, I feel like it's not wrong to, like, if we, like, I mean,
I understand what you're saying.
Basically, what are we gonna do? Assume everybody's straight? Like, that's kind of problematic in itself. But anyway,
spill, because him, and then my next draft pick. I mean, I might as well go ahead and say it.
Say
it. Michael.
He was the one I was referencing.
Michael. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Them two, Daniel and Michael, like, they are kind of like cut from the same cloth. It would be real nasty if they link up. Michael is an attorney. He's 6'4". He is also a very, very big super fan of the game. He's seen every season, including Canada, just like Daniel. So it's like, honestly, I feel like that they can either go after each other, or they can really link up and take it to the end. The one thing about Michael that really scared me, though, I'm picking him first, though. I still believe in him. But he kept mentioning that he gets really, really competitive and that people don't like it that much. He mentioned like twice, and I think the Mike Bloom interview, he was saying twice that like, yeah, people don't really like when I get really competitive. Like I get really, really intense. And he's saying I don't want to work with players who don't understand the game. I don't want to work with players who are not willing to use the veto and willing to do this for me. And I'm just like, well, Michael, babe, there's a lot of players like that in the game. I don't know, but I do have faith in him. He gives me. I don't know what he gives me.
I know what he gives me.
Who he gives you?
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. He gives me Amanda, and let me tell you why.
Ooh.
I feel like the way he speaks, especially when it talked about that competitiveness and like I'm kind of real cutthroat. The reason I picked Daniel over him is because I feel like Daniel has a sense of restriction to his game. I feel like Michael's gonna get in that game, get in game mode, and he's not gonna give a shit about nobody. He's gonna be like, he's gonna rule it with like an iron fist, kind of like Amanda. And I feel like if Michael gets power and he becomes the strategic mastermind, he's not going to be able to be subtle. He's gonna have a Paulie or Amanda fate. That's what I see in my head. He's running the game, but he gets real,
or
real
Ronnie
powerful.
BB11,
or Ronnie BB11. Someone who just they know they have control, and then they get too happy, too excited. He's competitive, so that's why I didn't pick him, and that's why I picked Daniel, because Daniel gave he might be able to tone it down.
I think it depends because I don't know how the alliances are going to shape out. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a Cookhouse type structure. I don't think the big alliance structure is going to be a thing in general anymore because there's so many different personalities and so many different thinking that a big group like that is going to split up in the next 2 weeks. I really feel like the fluidity of BB23 is going to, I hope it carries over. This is what I'm hoping. And if that's the case, I mean, I think he could be good. I think that's kind of like the interesting thing from only having one season kind of in this new era, that I think the possibilities are really endless. So I'm not sure, because in a certain structure, like if it's him and Daniel in a structure, then I mean, he can go pretty far in that.
It really depends. It's gonna be really interesting already. Just the first 2 picks, I feel like it's already gonna be really interesting. I haven't necessarily thought about these players as togetherness, like as they're playing against each other. I've kind of just thought about them individualistically.
Same.
How do I feel about him and him? But now that we're putting them up here, I gotta think Daniel and Michael are gonna be playing against each other. They both seem super strategic, seem super ready to play this game and have control. Who gonna take it? We'll see. The next person I picked, I don't know if this will be a shocker, but it's not like the archetype that I would necessarily pick. Boom.
Okay, Pooch.
Joe Pooch.
I like Pooch.
I like Pooch too.
Eyes are y'all probably can't see it in this picture, but if y'all see it on Twitter, he has these beautiful, piercing blue eyes. It's not even like, what is it? It's like you know that see-through water that be like in the Fiji oceans they show in the brochures. That's how blue his eyes are. When I tell you, my pussy would drop as soon as I spoke to this man, and he got like, he's Italian. He got this like, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling it. You know how Brent last year it gave. I don't want to like. He gives. I like him. You know, in his interviews, he was saying a lot of people like him a lot and things like that. So I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know if it can still potentially give Brent where like you saying everyone like you, but do everyone really like you? But he's also a huge fan of the game, so that's honestly a good pick for you.
He's a very huge fan. He says that he's seen every season, and he says that his favorite players are Chilltown, specifically Dr. Will. I love that he specified that because we don't know that other man.
We don't know that other man.
We really don't. Very much so in jail. So he says Dr. Will because, and I like his reasoning. He said, I like Dr. Will, not just because that's the name to say in Wooty Wooty. He likes him because of the gameplay. He likes Dr. Will because Dr. Will ate them up. Dr. Will was a puppet master. Dr. Will was very strategic and smart. I like Joe because he is similar to Daniel. He's a super fan who is a super fan for the right reasons, in my opinion. He genuinely likes the strategy. He talked a lot about his strategy in the game and how he plans on, first of all, he made it clear that he's not the alpha male type. He's more so like, and this is what he kind of reminds me of Cody in the sense, first of all, they're both Italian. Second of all, he said that basically, even though I can be categorized as an alpha male, people probably are going to see me more as their friend. And that's kind of what happened with Cody. And I feel like that's and I feel like he has Cody upside. However, the reason I didn't want to put him first is because of that same reason. He just gives threat, in my opinion. The only reason I settled on taking it is because when they added Joseph, and when they added Joseph, I was like, honestly, Joseph kind of might take Joe's place as the alpha male head guy. Initially, because this was before I heard the interviews. But I still kind of feel that way because of how Joseph looks. We've seen the pictures, girl. The body
down.
Like as soon as he showers at night, it's gonna be like, oh, that's the alpha male. That's the guy we gotta watch out for. I don't know how Joe looked shirtless. I know he probably looks good, but Joseph is a bodybuilder. He body builds, and he also is like, oh, I'm always gonna be meditating. He's like, I'm gonna walk around. I'm gonna eat all the stuff. It's not. I'm not saying that he's going to be an alpha male, Joseph. But I do think that because he's now here, it evens the playing field for Joe more so than it would have. And Joe's the fan. Joe's the one who knows the game. Joe's the one who can make it far. It kind of reminds me of, this is just very vague and based off nothing, but Jack and Jackson. Jack was the one who was an alpha male but didn't really know the game. And Jackson was an alpha male but knew the game. And if Joe can give that and let people target Jackson, aka Joseph, before him, that he could end up making it far because they're worried about Joseph, and they're worried about even Monty, who's another strong man who might be a target. So hopefully he's able to get around it. He also seems kind of genuine. We're basing this off of literally one video, but he seems genuine. So I think that's also a positive.
I think one of the only negatives I saw on him was, in the Mike Bloom biographies that they were posted, he mentioned how like he wants to go in and he wants to play hard, and he wants to kind of play for the fans. He wants it to be a super fun and crazy season, and that scares me because if he's giving Frenchie, I don't like that. And it sucks because if he's trying to go in and be this big character like a Dr. Will, maybe he goes in trying to be a Zach Rance. It's like, you're going to get out. And the fact that he seemed like he has really good game sense, he seemed like he's a huge fan. He said he's been watching since middle school, BB11 up. Why would you go in and waste it trying to be extra for the fans? I hate to say it. Fuck us. Like, girl, play the game. So I hope that's not kind of his thinking. If that's not, I feel like he has a good chance. But if he go in being extra, girl, it's over.
Yeah, that's true. I was kind of hoping that he was just saying that. Because even though he said that in that interview, when he was talking, I don't even know if he can give that. The way he was talking, he kind of just reminds me of like a chill dude. He doesn't give, because some people give like that crazy energy.
But you know who else gave that?
Ooh.
Winston and BB20, girl. Yeah, you
Winston didn't give that to me. He didn't give that to me.
He didn't give it. I remember he didn't give it to you. I remember you was like, I don't get it. But the girls was like, and I was gay. Most of the girls was gay. I was one of those girls who was like, Winston could win. Winston could win. The house went insane. So we really don't know nothing about none of these people until they get into the house.
Period. We gonna hope for the best. Oh God.
So my next pick, I'm gonna go with this next pick, right? This is low-key my winner pick. I don't know why I didn't pick him first, but I still got him, so it really don't matter. I'm gonna go with Monty. This is out of the blue. This is random. I just felt, y'all, this is gonna be so random. I literally just felt something tell me that Monty gonna win the season. I don't know. You can call it. You can call it. You can call me That's a Raven. You can call it. I don't know what you can call it. Like maybe I'm just. I don't know. Maybe I'm just that girl. I don't know. But it just gives me. I don't know. Like he just kind of has that type of personality type. He seems really easygoing. He seems like he has a good understanding of the game. He gives me a lot of Xavier. Honestly, a lot of Xavier upside. I think a lot of people will want to work with him. He seems like he could be good at competitions, and he seems like that. He's the type of player that if he just kind of sits back, gives this kind of neutral personality, like Xavier, who he mentions as one of his favorite players, then at that end game, he can beast out them competitions and win. And now, one thing I did notice about this cast, a lot of them said, I don't like alpha males, and a lot of them have mentioned they're going to do what they have to do to get to the end. A type of player like Monty, if he's going to go in and play that kind of under-the-radar, passive kind of game, that's not going to be able to work potentially in a house like this if you don't have an alliance fighting for you, like a cookout. You know what I mean? But who knows? The Blacks may link up again. We don't know. But if that doesn't happen, I think Monty's going to have to play a little bit harder than an Xavier will probably have to, because he also mentioned people like Hayden and Tyler. Yeah. So it's kind of like maybe he could give that, but I'm not too sure. But I do feel like because he just has that, that personality that seems like a lot of people can get along with, I feel like he could do pretty well and get really far. And he's fine as hell. What he say? He said he's like 6'4", 230 pounds, all muscle, like, ooh, my man, child.
All daddy. Honestly, I don't hate this pick at all. I had Monty High on my list also. I feel like one of the downsides I had is that he seemed like a fan. He didn't seem like a super fan. I'm like kind of
Yep.
an advocate for a super fan. And
Yep.
also kind of what you said about Xavier. I can see the Xavier comparisons too. And honestly, I don't necessarily think Xavier won this season. Or a season without certain circumstances, which is kind of why I was like, I see a potential, but I also see a lot of potential for him to not necessarily succeed. You got to be cutthroat in Big Brother, especially in I feel these newer seasons where there are a lot of fans. There's so many fans in this game. We've only named 4 people. All of these people are fans, and we have 16 other fans coming. So it's like I really need him to you got to be on your A game. So I'm not necessarily confident in the fact that he can get to that level, and that's kind of the type of person that I would want to choose. But honestly, I don't hate the pick at all. To be honest, where are all the girls? Like we are misogynistic at this point.
They're coming. Well, on my list they are at least.
Mine too. My next pick is. I wonder if this is gonna be a shock.
But honestly, too, like Michael, Daniel, and Pooch, we got a lot from. Most of the girls we didn't get much from.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm shocked actually. Wow.
Yeah, I feel like this might be a shocker. Paloma. Hello. Okay, this is an interesting pick, so I'm gonna explain myself. I liked what Paloma was giving because she was a fan. That's clearly something that I value, and I felt like Paloma was kind of genuine with her answers, and I felt like her answers were never bad. It gave this is actually what she'll do, because that's the thing with these questions, you got to be wary. A lot of these people just saying whatever. Boo. Paloma, I felt confident in picking her because she genuinely, like, even if it was something that might have been negative towards her game, she was saying it. So I felt like everything she said is actually probably going to be true, and a lot of things she said were good. She mentioned that first of all, she was a fan of like Tyler. She liked the strategist when she did go and watch the season, and she is a fan. She also mentioned that she did want to play strategically throughout the game. She always had mentioned strategic senses, and I like that about her too. I also just like that she seemed determined to win. No shade to the other girls, but there are some people on here who they did not have that factor. And I felt like something about Paloma didn't give threatening. A lot of the other people I feel left kind of either something about them gives threatening, or they just weren't giving anything at all. And you can't have both. And so I feel like there was other people that I might have picked it before her, but some part of me just screamed target. You know, Paloma doesn't scream target. Paloma screams she's going to make it to at least top 7 if she has that the factor that she's saying she has, the it factor. If she actually is going to be strategic. She said at the end of the game she will take out big threats and shit like that. So if she actually does do that, then I feel like she does have a chance. I also just feel like a lot of these other people are going to get targeted. All these people we already picked are going to get targeted. A lot of the people I'm going to talk about later are going to get targeted. It's just something. She gave me something. Also, I want a woman to win. So I was definitely going to pick a woman, at least in my top 3. So it was going to be a woman. Boo.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely like Paloma. I'm definitely rooting for her a lot. My fear for her is that she is just so young. The life experience may not be there, and that is pretty scary. I don't really... Because she says she's a fan, you know, she's seen Big Brother Canada, you know, so if she knows players, you know, she did go into depth about how she likes Tyler and why, which is a good thing, but it kind of gives, like, for me, is she even old, like, does she have the life experience enough to even enact these the strategies that she wants to do? Like, it gives more for me that she's a fan and she watched these things, but I'm not too sure she's actually going to be able to, you know, have them play out, is my only fear. With Paloma, honestly, I'm just gonna have to see. I'm just gonna have to see when she gets in there because I have no idea what she can do. I feel like she definitely has. I feel like she definitely has some upside if she gets into like potentially a showmance. I do think there's going to be some showmances this season. Maybe if she kind of get connected to like a stronger guy, she could get into a good position and make it pretty far. But then it comes to the respect thing. Like, you know, you mentioned maybe she doesn't get targeted, but then you have to get that respect, and she has to get the respect as a woman who's also a younger woman. You know, they don't. You know, the girls misogynoir down the Big Brother house. Okay, so I'm scared. I'm scared for my sister, but we're gonna see.
I see.
But my next pick, we're gonna pick her. We're
No, that's right.
Y'all knew she was gonna be an early pick. Let's come on, Miss Taylor, mother. I love Taylor. I love Taylor when she got leaked initially preseason. I was standing Taylor then. So I knew I was going to love her down. I feel like all of her questions gave very much like she kind of knew what she was giving. She gives very much like, she reminds me like of a Bailey or a Summer in BB Canton, a pretty sociable player, but she gives kind of like a cutthroat energy. Like she's willing to go in there and she knows big moves have to be made. The only thing that scared me a bit, child, she mentioned not wanting to be the main strategist because she mentioned like, you know, we've seen main strategists get cut at the end, Sister Tiffany. And she's like, well, I don't want to be the person doing the main brunt force of the work. I hope that doesn't mean she's going to go in there and sit up there and do nothing all damn day long. Because it's going to be like, Taylor, baby, no, we were rooting for you. But I feel like, you know, she's someone, she's hungry for the money. She mentions in almost all of her answers, I'm getting this 750K. We love a manifest her down. I feel like she could be good at competition. She seems like someone people are going to want to work with. My only fear, and y'all know, a bad bitch like Taylor, the girls are gonna be jelly down. Mm-hmm. The girls, it's gonna like the girls are gonna be like, oh my god, she has to go. She's a big threat. Like I can just see it. But we're not gonna knock on wood. We're not gonna, you know what I mean? We're rooting for Taylor over here because I would love if she could take it home. Like she just she has a good head on her shoulders. I feel like when she gets in the position of power, I feel like she could really do well with it. We're just gonna see. I have high hopes. Very optimistic about Miss Taylor.
I genuinely agree with everything Lee said, but and that's kind of why I didn't pick Taylor. Kind of really just only over Paloma. If I didn't pick Paloma, I was gonna pick Taylor. Or if he picked Paloma, I was gonna pick Taylor. But it's just because, like you said, that that threat factor. I feel like the girls are not gonna let Taylor get too far at all. Even if Taylor does do good in the pre-jury or in the beginning stage, she's just the type that I feel like exudes threat. Because, like you said, the girls are gonna be jelly. Also, we've just seen it so many times, you know, the bad bitch girls just get targeted. Like if you are eating it up, you're gonna get targeted. And she says like she loves Janelle. She loves a woman who's just going to
Danielle Reyes.
And Danielle Reyes, the ones who's just gonna target the big targets and da. Girl, you gonna get out. Just like Jessica Grab, just like Janelle.
No,
you're going to lose.
We're not gonna put that on my sister. We're not gonna put that on my sister. We're gonna knock on wood.
And honestly, I would love if she won. Honestly, if Lee wins with Taylor, then I'm gonna be good, fine. But I just feel like, ooh, the girls are so scared. And then she's a black woman. The girls are scared of black women. Like they do not let them get far. They don't. They get intimidated. They be shaking in their boots. They be shaking in their boots. Bailey won one HOH and she had to go. Summer didn't even win HOH. She had to go. Devon didn't even win HOH. She had to go. Dominique didn't even win it. She had to go.
We're not there anymore. We're not there anymore. Get out of the trenches, Pharaoh.
They done took Marvin out. They done took Marvin out the season. Done replaced him with a non-black.
We're not there anymore. We're not there.
Right. We'll hope for the best, y'all. I hope Taylor win.
She's going to win.
Y'all gonna how. I don't know what y'all gonna think of this one.
I don't know what y'all gonna think of this one. I'm scared. I'm gagged.
You gagged?
She's very low on my list. No shade.
And look, as she should be. No, okay. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. At first, it was giving nothing, but I did some analysis. I compared her to the other players that we have as options, and honestly, I think she can give. I think she was holding back in her answers. I think honestly, she has potential to genuinely know what the fuck she's talking about. Everyone I picked has watched every single season. Everyone I picked has said they are super fan. And I feel like she just goes with the flow of my team already. And honestly, I kind of believe her. It's kind of like when you watch Alyssa's videos, you're like, is this girl just saying whatever? But a part of me like kind of believes her, especially at the end. I was like, you know what? Like she's very consistent with what she's saying. And every answer was very like, this is the correct answer to give. She was reading the script. But I think it could be genuine. My only issue is, but honestly, this isn't even an issue. But I feel like relating with people might be something that she needs to focus on. But I don't necessarily think that will be an issue this season. I think there could easily be showmances, like you said, or even like maybe even a Cool Kids group. And I feel like Alyssa could slide in over there if Paloma and Joe and Joseph and Alyssa link up. That's not impossible. Let's knock on the fuck wood. We do not want that. But I do think this cast fits Alyssa, I think, fine. We know that Alyssa knows Alyssa from BB23. And I feel like that's not a big indicator of much. But honestly, if I had to say that, oh, okay, she knows Alyssa, then at least she knows someone who just isn't a white woman. Alyssa is a Latina. She could link up with Paloma. She could link up with Joe. Like I said, she could actually socialize clearly. She has friends. So I feel like that's another plus. I don't know. I just see it. And I'm gonna leave it at there. It's not much else.
Yeah, like I just feel like her answers, like you mentioned, it just gave very much like I'm giving the correct answer. Like I see it every season. I love Janelle. Like when they literally asked her, when they asked her, are you going to bring your number one ally or someone you can beat? She said, I'll bring my number one ally because I know my game will be good enough that I can beat them. Like, girl, that's very bold talking. Now, if she can go up in there and back it up, then Miss Mama's back it up. But I don't know if she can necessarily back it up. She gives me Stephanie from BB Can 10, if y'all know BB Can 10, Whitney from Big Brother 23, a lot of potential. Seems like they know a lot about the game. But are they going to be active enough to really put that into work? She's 24 years old. We know younger players in Big Brother, they don't usually have the finesse, especially working with older players. But who knows? You know, she's a younger girl. Maybe she could go with Paloma. Maybe she could link up with some other younger players because there are a few of them who are in the 24, 20 area. You never know. But I don't know. It's just, you know, she gives me Ice Queen. Are we getting a new Ice Queen? It gives me very much like, I know I'm gonna win. Yeah, so I mean, she could go either way. Like similar to Paloma, I feel like I just have to see you in the house. So you know, I really don't really know how she can kind of vibe with these people yet.
Period.
Oh yeah, I'm next. So I'm gonna go with Nicole.
Who?
Nicole.
No shade. Very interesting that you picked.
So I had to pick a Nicole because first of all, if your name is Nicole, you make it top 3 regardless. So I know.
My God.
I'm gonna have someone in top 3. But honestly, I see a lot of upside for Nicole. Similar to Monty, she just has this personality that seems very easy to get along with, very easygoing. Now, like honestly, y'all, this is a pick based on I think win ability. Because personally, I wasn't liking anything she was giving. She's talking about integrity. She wants a loyal game. She likes Derek. All of that is very boring, but boring wins Big Brother, unfortunately, child. So I do feel like I can see people being like, I want to work with her. I want to take her far. I can listen to her. She listens to me. She seems like someone that can relate to people on a personal level. People is going to see her as, you know, just someone with a level-headed, someone cool, calm, and collected. She's an ex-cop. She was a cop for 10 years, turned chef. So she's going to be cooking it down in the kitchen, potentially. Excuse me.
Bless you, baby.
The girls are going to want to keep her around, is what I'm thinking. And if she kind of has that strategic edge of a Derek that she keep mentioning that she likes so much, she mentioned that she likes Xavier as well, then I think she could potentially be a real threat. Honestly, I feel like she has a lot of longevity in the game regardless. So I'm excited. What?
Y'all, I can't do it. I can't even fake it. This girl gave Gen City. This girl gave...
Not Gen City.
This girl gave Joe the chef. What you say, cooking it up in the kitchen?
Oh my God, Kathy the cop.
Chef Joe. Y'all... Cassie
Don't do
cop.
mother. Don't do mother like this.
It's not giving mother. It's very much so giving, you know, maybe sister. I don't know. Like Nicole gave not anything at all. I do not see a winner. I may see. Well, you know what? Nope. I don't see a winner. No.
I feel like
no.
It depends. If she kind of go, I feel like she. Because, like I said, that type of game player who values that integrity and working with a group and a strong group, like they usually make it pretty far. Like I just see her with her personality type making it pretty far.
Right. It's giving Christmas.
Oh God.
Like it
does give Christmas.
I support the pick. I just feel like she didn't give much at all. She gave Loyal Soldier. She gave I Need a Soldier.
Soldier.
I don't think a soldier can win post BB23 5POC season because the way the casting has changed is that the casting has been very heavy on game players. Like I said, every single person we've picked before Nicole would never vote Nicole. I don't see them voting Nicole over anybody next to her.
Girl,
which is my
this
issue.
is day one.
This is not even day one.
This not even day one. This is day zero.
This is preseason, and I will stand 10 toes down on what I just said.
Like I said in the beginning of the video, we didn't get shit from Tiffany, and she was Queen Mother of the Season.
You comparing Nicole to Tiffany right now?
Oh, I'm not doing that. Not doing that.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to my next pick. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I have these next two. I have them like switch, flip flop. I don't know which one to pick. But going off of kind of what Lee said about Nicole, boring really tends to win the game sometimes. And this person gives me boring, especially after what I heard. And I'm gonna explain because it might be a little contradicting to what I said earlier. Okay, hold on. I gotta find them, y'all. Okay.
Daddy. Y'all, this man is so fun.
Girl, y'all.
It's so fun.
Go on Twitter and search his name up.
And then no shade, I heard Marvin was giving I don't know. Apparently he was following some pretty problematic people, child. So I think
we have Democratic Joseph. I just want to put that out there. He is a registered Dem. So he's already a king as it is. Honestly, this man is a lawyer. The last winner was a lawyer. That's already a plus. I think boring gets far. Cody played so boringly. Xavier played boringly. Casey, boring. These were like three of the four past winners are boring and strong and lawyers. Like, I don't know. Like, he literally fits the archetype of the winner. I feel like one of the fears was that he might be seen as alpha. After I heard his video, the manner in which he speaks seems way more Xavier. Xavier was seen as alpha, but he was able to slide past because people don't associate him kind of in a negative connotation of an alpha. It's more of a positive connotation, like a you deserve to win. Same thing with Cody. Cody and Xavier got the you deserve to win alpha, type of thing. Not the Jackson, not that. I think in a similar way of what I said about Joe, because there's other people who can fit in this. Monty is 6'8" and 300 pounds, and Joe is a it might balance out all the alphas. It kind of gives Monty, Joseph, and Joe all a equal chance for one of them to seem less threatening than the other. I think if Joseph could be smart, that he can do that, and he's obviously smart because he is a lawyer. But honestly, knowing the game is very important, and that's why I didn't put him above any of these other people that we have listed, because you really need to know this game, I feel like, to do good, but we've ran out of those people, I fear.
Yeah.
So I just feel like he has kind of like the blueprint to win. It's just, is he gonna give that? I don't know yet. We still don't even know much about any of these people, like Lee said. But honestly, I'm willing to give it a shot. He seems sweet. And honestly, sweet men who are attractive get far usually, as long as they're not horrible. All you have to do is not be horrible, and if you're an attractive man, you make it to top 5. Like, congratulations.
Yeah, I can definitely see him making it pretty far off that alone, to be honest, because I wouldn't put his fine ass out.
Me neither. I'm not nominating him. I'm not nominating
never,
him. You couldn't
never
pay me.
Never. I'd nominate my own mama. I don't care. Anyway. But no, that man is fine down. Like, honestly, like, why are you saying this? But no, my only negatives about him is that he said he only see like one season. It was 23, and he liked Xavier because he won, given very much someone else on the cast that we're going to talk about last, most likely. I'm not a big like he's young. He doesn't know the game that well, so he do have those positive attributes. Maybe he can learn on the fly. He does seem like someone else who has those personality types that people can get along with. Even if you can't get along with, you definitely gonna want to because he's a man child. So I feel like I haven't had enough time to really marinate with him. We just got him 2 hours ago, but I think it's a pretty good pick, honestly.
All right.
So my next pick, y'all. My next pick is already canceled for most people.
I knew you was gonna do it.
And we gonna get into it. Matt the Rat Turner. I'm picking him. So we gonna get into the tea real quick. So, as soon as not even an hour after the cast was dropped, Mr. Matt Turner, BB fans are quick. They did some digging. Well, they really didn't do no digging.
Right, they didn't have to dig.
But they got on it real quick. I mean, this became major news. His alleged sister. All this is alleged. I do not know. No one knows. But honestly, it's F both of them. We're going to get to that. His sister come out, Holly Turner, she tweets, just heard that my younger brother, Matt Turner, is on Big Brother this season. FYI, this kid bullied me my entire life. In 2020, when I was jobless and homeless, staying at my parents' house for lack of a better place to go, he randomly showed up when he didn't need to and manipulated my mother into kicking me out. When he didn't even need to be there, he has given me horrible, crippling anxiety from the way he has treated me and given me panic attacks and still haunt me to this day. He's an absolute trash and says the N-word on the regular. He has been handled everything on a silver platter his entire life. Basically, she gets in him and drags him and drags him and drags him even more. Now, the girls were looking for proof. We were asking for proof because, some of the girls don't want to just cancel off rip. These are pretty serious allegations. But they did some digging into her Twitter. The whole tea is she been saying the N-word. So we have an allegation from her sister that he says the N-word and he's problematic, but then you literally search her Twitter and she is saying LGBT slurs and the N-word. So at this point, it's F both of them, but I'll get into why I picked him. He is a fan of the game. He gives me McCray vibes in BB15, which would be honestly why I'm picking him so high. But I feel like honestly, McCray, he was in a position to potentially have won that season if he didn't make that dumbass mistake at the end of the game by not vetoing Alyssa. We don't get into that. But I feel like Matt had a good sense of what he's getting into. He seemed like he definitely thinks out what he wants to do. And all of the questions, he really was sitting and going through and trying to figure out like what he will ultimately do. And I feel like someone who's a thinker, someone who kind of knows what they're getting to. Because I feel like when it comes to picking like good players, like no shade, I feel like we're gonna pick them. But I feel like we're going to like the next caliber. I do feel like Matt is in that area. The issue is he is a little bit young, so I don't really know if similar to like a Paloma, and does he have the life experiences to really like maybe manipulate or use some of these people. He owns a thrift store, so he's kind of a businessman, I guess. You know what I mean? And I can see him as being less threatening. He said he wants to go in and win competitions. He wants to model his game after a Tyler Crispin. I can honestly see someone like him winning the Face Away like a Tyler Crispin or like a McCray, getting in the majority alliance. And then boom, float to the end. Like he does seem like someone who could potentially be good at these competitions. He seems like a shorter frame, slender body type, those endurance comps, but we don't know. They did say it's different challenges. So it can go either way, but I do feel like he has a good enough chance. I mean, from what his sister said, clearly he can manipulate his mom into kicking her out. So he's gonna go in here and eat.
Honestly, I kind of agree with you. Like, honestly, it was hard for me to put him lower because he was saying all the right things. If I didn't hear all the tea, honestly, he probably would have been picked a long time ago before me.
Yeah. The problematicness really brought him down. I was like,
yeah, it really brought him down. And also, I something about him, when I was watching his videos, when I was listening to him, something about him, kind of the opposite of Paloma, his videos screamed, this is not how he actually is. He's talking like this. He's giving this. When he's in that house, it's giving. People are not going to mess with him because he low-key, for some reason, it gave asshole. And then I heard the tea. So it's giving like he's acting like this, but he'll be an asshole IRL in the actual house. It's like, I don't know. I can see him rubbing people the wrong way. I don't necessarily see him meshing with the cast. And I feel like that's going to be a big problem. This cast, I don't think he'll mesh with this cast. I really don't. I don't necessarily see him really getting a good footing. And on top of that, I heard the tea. So that's the only negative. But other than that, honestly, he was saying all the right things, but I can see a downfall for him. I can see him like them being like, he doing too much, or we don't really like. That's the thing. He can be strategic all he wants. If he doesn't have allies, he's not gonna make it. I can't necessarily envision, clearly we're going off nothing. I can't necessarily envision anybody working with him of these people here and being really loyal to him. I can see him being like someone to be used, people wanting to work with him, and him trying to, but it's just not working. So that's the only thing.
Yeah, and then also like another negative too. Apparently, he worked for some YouTuber named Mr. Beast. We want to give y'all all the tea. Mr.
Mhm.
Beast is some popular YouTuber. I don't know, child. But basically, he worked for him, and then he basically came out blasting him, saying that it was bad work environments. Mr. Beast called him a lot of names. He was unhappy, basically going off on him. And his sister, who came out him, called him problematic and things like that. She said that he basically did that to try to jumpstart his YouTube career. And Mr. Beast came out and said it was all a lie. And then apparently he came back out and said, I didn't mean it like that. I don't know, child, but it's giving mess. It's giving mess. So he honestly might bring the drama.
Child, we move. We only got a few people left. Okay, I'm confident in this pick of the options we have left. I'm gonna go ahead and choose. Drum roll, please. Amira.
Queen Mira.
Okay, I have chosen Amira because honestly, I'm gonna be real. Initially, when I was looking at Amira stuff, when I was watching her videos, hearing her clips, I was initially impressed. And then the more I started hearing them, and then when I read the bio, I was like, wait a minute. She was talking about, I want to be loyal to the soil. I just need to make sure that my alliance is all stuck together and we're all glued together and we're good and we're great and we're where our grandmother. Now, I'm just not a huge fan of the loyal to the soil vibe, but you can win Big Brother doing that. The last 80, 90 winners were like that and they won. You know, the winners in recent days haven't been the ones who have slit people's throat and cut people's back and backstabbed and manipulated and lied and cheated. She seems strategically sound. She seems like she can win a comp. She seems like she's old enough to be social and be mature. Another thing that I wasn't a fan of was the fact that she said, basically, I'm gonna tell it like it is, and I'm blunt, girl. This is Big Brother. We're playing a game.
Big Brother, girl.
It gives that she maybe seen a season and then she did her smart. She's an intelligent woman, so she chose to watch a few seasons. She says she's a fan and she says she's liked it, but it didn't necessarily give actual fan. It gave casual who did their research. But I like that she did her research. She talks in a manner that seems very thoughtful. It seems like she's going to try to win, and I do enjoy that about her too. It's just those tidbits that I mentioned, and that's why I didn't pick her above 12 other people, babe.
Yeah, like honestly, like she's the last good pick. Period. Like this is your one. I genuinely feel like the winner is one of these people.
So I want to time out. I want to say, I agree with you. This is the latest in the pick we've said that. That's how you know the casting has really improved. Yeah. Because I genuinely feel like all these people genuinely have a chance, honestly. And maybe even the next one on my list. I have one more on my list. For me,
it's a no job. But the only thing about Amira is that, like, reading her biography, she keeps saying, like, I'm very straightforward. And people might not like that. She said that like 3 times, but like there was no. So I'm not going to be like that in the house. It's giving you no. It's like she's going to go in and be straightforward. If they don't like it, they're just not going to like it. She's thinking about like she doesn't like. She doesn't like two-timers. She doesn't want people who's playing in multiple alliances. Girl, that's the game. She's saying that she wants people to only be loyal to her group and this, and this. And it's just like, honestly, if Amira isn't someone who's moving strategy, which I don't see that for her, and if she's not someone who's winning hella competitions and being seen as useful, she's not going to be in an alliance to even do those type of things. When she's asked, like, are you going to vote with the house? She's saying, yeah, I'm going to go with the house. And it's like, babe, are you going to be at the house? Are you going to be with the goddamn house? Is the question. Like, I don't really see it for Amira, but I do feel like if she's able to get in some loyal alliance, she does have the I feel like she has the mindset to make it pretty far, but winning, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know for my sister, but it's definitely possible. Like I said, I think one of the winners is one of these people, but Amira Loki lower on the list. No saying. Along with this next pick for me. I'm going to go with Kyle.
Okay.
I picked Kyle and BB Can 10. I'm picking him again here. Let's hope this is not like BB Can 10 Kyle, please. So he's a TikToker, an influencer, if you will. Likes to twerk, very much so. The girl said he wasn't Donald Trump likes. Don't know how I feel about that. It is what it is, child. We moved.
Well, I don't like it.
But at this point, honestly, I feel like he can make it pretty far. He does seem pretty likable. People said they didn't like his personality from
I
the
hated
TikTok
it.
and stuff like that. I thought it was cute. I feel like a lot of people in the house made they get cute. He seemed like someone who could potentially win a lot of competitions. Maybe he can get in the showman. I don't know if that's going to be positive or negative for him, depending on how the alliance structure is set up. I do feel like in the alliance that gets created, Kyle is going to be a person that could potentially be in it. Because he does seem like, because he's on the younger side, it's like, you know, I think he kind of had a personality to where like he seems it's like bubbling in a way, like and it makes him seem kind of someone who can be used like a Christian Birkenberger. He gives Christian Birkenberger a bit, so I can definitely see him being in a position to where someone may want to use him. Now I don't know how that's going to work later in the game. That's why like I think Amir is the last pick for winner because I honestly don't see Kyle winning. I think that he's someone that could potentially be just used to the end. He mentioned, oh, they think I'm dumb, but I'm not really. Everyone says that. I think he might be a little bit nuts and bolts, but we gonna see, child.
Yeah, I didn't like him. I saw the TikToks, didn't like it. Saw the Trump, didn't like it. Just nothing about it. The TikTok it gave to me, it gave a little bit. This is you're on the cusp of trying me, is what it gave. I'm not a fan of Kyle's. Every Kyle from BB don't like him. I don't expect that to change with this one. I really don't. I was gonna say maybe he'll. Don't see it. Don't see winner. I don't even see people necessarily liking him, but maybe that's just because I didn't like him. But also, like you said, the other girl said that they immediately were turned off by his personality too, and that's from one TikTok. So I think it might be possible that some of the other house guests might feel the same way. A lot of mites, but I don't necessarily see him fitting in with everyone here, and that's kind of what I look for in like a good player is that they're able to mold their personality to fit in with everyone. I don't necessarily think Kyle can do that, but we'll see because we're basing it off of nothing. When it comes to positive attributes, there are none for me. So we'll go to the next one. After this, I would like to choose. We working with the scrap shop. You know what? What I'm gonna do? Let me think. What am I gonna do?
Now, watch one of these last four be the winner.
I'm gonna stick with what I have on my list. And that's this woman.
Okay.
Now, of the people left, we didn't have many good choices. So, I will say I don't feel as negative about her personality as I feel like other people feel it was, because I feel like she could have been I feel like she might have been putting on like a ploy for the audition tape video, similar to a lot of other people. You know, you're gonna say whatever when you're getting interviewed. In that house, she's gonna be stressed, tired. I don't think she'll necessarily be 300 all the time in the house. I kind of think it's giving, I'm doing this for the interview because I just got casted on Big Brother and I'm gonna give them what they want. And when she gets in the house, she's gonna tone it down a bit. I don't think she's gonna tone it down a lot. I think she's still gonna give annoying, but I don't think it's gonna be to the extreme caliber that it seems. She's definitely adding up the fuel because she's trying to be a personality. I think when she gets in there, she's gonna be a normal person. Not that she's not a normal person now, but I just think she'll tone it down a little bit. So I'm not necessarily as worried as I feel the other people are about that. What I am worried about is that she still has clearly a side to her that might rub people the wrong way. But honestly, in my opinion, I compare her side just as much as I would say Kyle's is. I feel like what I saw from Kyle was very similar from what I saw from Brittany. He seems annoying. Like what he was doing, like when he was being funny on TikTok, it gave annoying funny. It didn't give like, you know, I actually gagged. And I feel like that could be similar to her too. So honestly, they about what to me. However, with Brittany, I feel like she's a fan. I feel like she genuinely knows about the show. When they asked her about manipulating and voting with the house, she gave the answers that I liked. It just gave, are you going to be able to do the answers you're giving? But, and we've seen this before. This happens a lot with kind of this archetype. They clearly have a strategic sense, but it's like, when you going to be able to use the strategic? And then whenever they do get a chance in the game, it's like, babe, you didn't do what you said at all. So it's kind of like, very much so. The only reason I pick her is because at least she gave me something. The other three didn't give not a damn thing.
Yeah, I feel like Brittany, like that's how I feel with her. Like is she going to be able to do what she wants to do? Like, the archetype she fits in for me is like Brittany from BB23, Bronte, Bridget. Like, these people who sticking out for me, like people who honestly they do have a good game sense, but I don't feel like people are going to necessarily see them as someone that they want to work with. Hopefully she has Sarah Beth upside, because Sarah Beth was someone who I underestimated, and when she went into the game, she was doing really well. She had this cutthroat energy, and people were listening to her to a certain degree, and then she kind of was moving strategically. I feel like Brittany could potentially do that. I don't like I said, we really don't know what the alliance structures are going to be. I do feel like if there is some sort of cool kids group, she's not really going to fit in too well into that. I don't see necessarily her being in the majority alliance regardless, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's going to do bad. I don't think that's going to be the end all be all moving forward. At least I hope not for future seasons. But yeah, like the answers were great. It's just they were so complex, and it's like I don't think you're gonna have to actually be doing all of that. Most people, you kind of see it all the time when they go in and they have all these plans and these thoughts about the game. Like they're usually in the minority and not able to enact any of it, you know? And that's kind of the thing too. It's crazy because everyone, they kind of go in and they give a story on how they're gonna do well. And I feel like no one ever speaks about kind of like, what if I'm in that minority position? Like everyone is always speaking, well, I'm going to control the alliance, and I'm going to be doing this, and I'm going to be doing this, and it's like that's where the self-awareness comes in. Because me personally, if I go into the house, I'm not going to be sitting here thinking, oh, what am I going to do if I'm in the majority position? Mm-hmm. Like I'm going to be thinking, what am I going to do if I'm in minority? Like how am I going to work my way out of it? And I just feel like someone like Brittany, if she goes into the house and bloop, she's at the bottom of the house, does she have a strategy to get out of that? I don't know, Chad.
It's your turn.
Oh, I forgot. I keep forgetting, y'all. So I'm gonna go with Jasmine.
Okay. That's what
we down to the last few. So at this point, I'm just picking up personality. I did love Jasmine a lot. Her personality seems fun. We didn't get much from her. She gives casual fan in the interview, the biography. She wasn't giving longer answers in the Sharon Tharp interview. She wasn't really giving long answers when she was speaking to them either. So we didn't get much from her, but I keep mentioning we didn't get much from Tiffany. So not to compare the girls, because you can't compare the Queen Mother, but it's like, you know, you never really know. She could go in and give us something we have no idea. One of the big things that I liked about her is that she mentioned, you know, if she gets an HOH, she's picking up big targets. If I'm in Big Brother, why am I not taking risks? And it's giving period when she has her Jessica HOH from BB 21. And we have to stand. I can definitely see that for her. My only fear is that she is someone people are going to see as a pawn. She mentioned going with the house a lot. She mentioned taking her number one ally. She mentioned throwing competitions, all negative down. But she's a country bumpkin. She has this cute country accent. I feel like people will like her a lot. It's just working with her, I'm not too sure. She hasn't shown that she knows a lot strategically about the game, so I don't think it's looking too good for Miss Jasmine. But I'm definitely rooting for sister.
Yeah, I agree. I liked her a lot, but like you said, it just wasn't given in the strategical factor. However, you can win this game and not necessarily be strategical. I just feel like Jasmine also just seemed to lack, game. She didn't even know about the game. It didn't seem like she was just saying the most. Oh, the answers were bad, baby. And that's kind of what I didn't like about it. I just want to pick people who at least they know about the game. At least they can give an answer that I can support, stand down on. She also said she basically wants to work with the minority. Well, she said she wants to work with the outsiders, the outcasts, woo. Honestly, every time I hear that, it's low-key a red flag because it gives you're going, not that she's going to actively separate herself, but if there ends up being a minority, she's going to gravitate towards that side because that's kind of just how she feels. And I understand it because I do that sometimes too. However, in the game of Big Brother, baby, you better pretend, that you don't want to do that and sit there with the cool kids. But it's not given that she will do that. It's given she will want to, stand 10 toes down with the people she should. And I support, but we trying to win the game, baby. Can't win like that, But yeah, she didn't really give much other than that. I'm actually glad I got this person because, child, it's Terrence.
Oh Lord, you leaving me with Indy?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I actually liked Terrence's answers. It was weird because I liked his answers, but the reason that it was going to be really hard for me to pick Elmo is because he is just not. They did not give him. I don't know why they keep doing this. They still haven't learned from their mistakes. You should not just throw one person who's not going to relate with anybody in the season full of a bunch of people who are going to relate to each other. It's just ridiculous. Like, look at these people. There are so many 20-year-olds, and if they are 30, they're 31, 32. There's literally a range of people around the same exact age in the same generation, and they got
You
one
do it
person in a
every
different
time.
generation. Why do y'all do this? It's so weird. It's going to be very hard for him to fit in. Everyone can't be a Tiffany, boo. And I don't think he has the capacity to be a Tiffany just based off of the videos I saw, which isn't much, like I said, but it really doesn't give that people are really gonna want to link up with him. And if they do, it's gonna be the people who are also gonna be on the outside of the structure, which is just bad for him. I will say something about this cast that I don't necessarily like as a whole is I feel like it kind of more so resembles that BB21 Big Brother, where there is a group of people who kind of fit in, and then there's clear, distinct people who may not. And I think that's what I liked about BB23 is that I didn't get that feeling ever that there was going to be certain people who just weren't going to be who were going to be outcast. But this season, I kind of do. It kind of does seem like a bunch of just strong alpha males, and then the pretty women who might all link up with them. And then there's certain random people who just randomly don't fit in with that aesthetic. And I don't necessarily like that. But it's still way better. It's still way better. People like Matt, people like Michael, people like Daniel, people like Nicole. These aren't the typical. It's way better. The diversity is there, and we still got variety. But like I said.
Yeah. It's really annoying every single season. And honestly, I don't know, Terrence doesn't even seem like he's a fan for real. Like he mentioned in Derek and Xavier, but those are two very generic answers.
The most generic.
And other than that, like when it came to the game, he's someone else. I take my number one ally. I feel like I could definitely talk my way into the win. No. I'm throwing competitions. No, just negative on top of negative, just like Jasmine. Like they had the similar answers, which for me is why they're so lower on the list, because it's like, how are you going into a game for $750,000 with these passive ass answers? It honestly just confuses me. But we gonna see. We gonna definitely see. It definitely gets first boot. No shade.
It does. We're on the last one.
Indy child. So Indy is Brazilian. She has a deep accent, child. Deep accent. But the reason why she's last is, she's not a fan. She's just like, this girl, it's like they literally plucked her off the street, told her to watch BB23, and she did. They literally asked her, like, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite? What season you watch? She said, I watched season 23, and my favorite is Javier. That's what she said. You could look up the video.
She did say that.
Because he won. And then she started to list things that he didn't even do as to why she liked him. No shade. So the girl don't know what the hell she's doing. I don't understand casting like this ever. It will never. They definitely picked her because I feel like for an archetype, it gave that they wanted to for the accent. They're probably going to have several scenes where they're like literally making fun of it, like they did with JC. Like, stop doing that. Like, this person has no idea what this game is. Why are they here? Her answers are literally, when they asked, are you going to flip the house to help yourself? No, because this is a game, and game is like life, and we're going to treat each other with respect. And I was like, this girl does not know what she's getting into.
And I'm finna dig into CBS Big Brother ass real quick. They need to stop doing this. This is the issue with the casting in Big Brother and in other reality TV shows too, especially the competition ones, is that they cast minority groups as gimmicks. That's not cool. You casted her, not just her. When we had Marvin was another person who was not born in America. He was an immigrant. He also had an accent. He was Nigerian. They casted these two people. They were not fans. Marvin was not a fan. Indy was not a fan. Marvin said he was a fan. Let's get to the tea. Wasn't he a fan? We saw the videos. They were not fans. You casted these people to be entertainment on the show. That's not cool at all. They do the same thing with the older type of archetype. Usually, like they cast Terrence, like Lee just said. Terrence did not seem like he knew the show. Why would you cast one person who's already gonna be outcast because of the casting and make these people be the only ones who aren't fans? Then you get Joe, the alpha male. He's attractive, a man, and he's a super fan. Why is he a super fan? But when you get the archetype that's not typical, they're not the super fans. That's so weird. They used to do it with the black competitors. They stopped doing it now that they have the BIPOC rule. They used to only cast the black competitors because of their entertainment value. Davon said the only reason she got casted is because she went to the casting call. She went off on somebody, like as a joke, like she was being jokey, and that's what made them want to get her. They didn't cast us, Black people, minorities, different ethnic groups, different ages, to actually be serious competitors, and they're still doing it. It's some bullshit. Like, stop that. Big Brother, stop that. That's honestly dumb as fuck. I don't know why they would cast her and not have this woman actually be a fan, or actually, at least cast another immigrant who's actually a fan, or actually can play the game, or someone like, don't. Why are you playing in their face? That's stupid. Oh,
it doesn't make any sense. I will say that they did have someone like I guess Marvin. He was originally cast. He's originally from Nigeria. She's originally from Brazil. So I guess they were kind of two people who could have related. But Marvin is now out of the cast. So there's that. It just sucks. We don't know if Paloma speaks Spanish. Maybe. Well, she's from Brazil, so that's Portuguese. I mean, similar languages.
No. Similar languages. But it doesn't matter. It's like they didn't even cast her to be an actual competitor in the game, and that's some bullshit. And it's just weird because they don't even cast like I'm gonna be for real. We can go through it. All the white people in the cast are fans. You can't say that for the other races. You can't say that for the other ethnic groups.
I just don't understand why they don't
I don't
all
like that.
fans in general. Like, it's just dumb.
It just
I don't like it's like there is no reason why this girl can only give us one season and name Xavier because he won. Like, that's not
Xavier. Like,
this guy is going to be lost down, and it, like on top of that, you put a whole language barrier on top of that. It's like
it's just stupid and not fair. And they always do what they usually do with the older people. It's rare when we just get someone who's different who also has the strategy to them. And if they do have the strategy, they didn't know that. When they casted Cliff, they didn't know Cliff was going to eat the girls.
Yeah.
They casted Cliff. When they casted Tiffany, they probably knew exactly what we knew. Oh, she's older. She's a phlebotomist. And that's it. They didn't expect them to eat. It was an accident. They accidentally end up with good shit. That's the same shit that happened in BB20 when it was actually a split instead of just a big ass bombardation of a group. It was an accident. They need to stop accidentally doing shit and start doing shit on purpose. Why would you cast these people? Why would you cast Indy and put her in this group of people who she can barely relate to, and then also not have her at least be a fan? At least give immigrants I keep calling these people immigrants. At least give Spanish people from different countries, people from born in other places, at least give them representation that can actually have a fighting chance in the game. Like, what the fuck? That's so annoying. I'll move along. Oh, that's the cat. It looks good. I love how they look together. And like I said earlier, I was like,
we evenly picked. It's 4 girls, 4 boys.
Oh, that's cool. That was an accident. Yeah, no, it eats. I really like it. I really do feel like as a whole, it's going to be a really dynamic and great season. I don't think there's necessarily just going to be a big group of people because, like I said, we have so many dynamic people like Daniel and Michael, Nicole, Jasmine, Indy. Like, these are not the typical type of cast members we get who are just going to work with the alpha males. Daniel said he hates. So many people said they hate alpha males. So I'm
hate alpha males. Like, it's like I don't even. It's like I said, the big alliances. I don't like how. Who's gonna pick a big alliance now? Who gonna be a big alliance? Like, I guess if
my whole team. That's what I'm thinking. Well, not the 2 on the left, but if you
I can't even do alliances. I'll just do some pairings. I think Michael and Daniel maybe can link up. I honestly can see Monty and Taylor, maybe Monty and Terrence. I honestly see maybe a Joseph with Alyssa, Joseph with Paloma. Mm-hmm. I can see a Pooch with Alyssa, Pooch with a Paloma. Mm-hmm. I can see a Pooch and Matt. Mm-hmm. I can see a Pooch and Matt. Maybe a Kyle and Pooch, a Kyle and It's
a lot of layers. Because that's the thing. If Kyle does vibe with Pooch and Pooch vibes with Joseph and Joseph vibes with Matt, that's a boys' alliance, and I'm tired of it.
I definitely see a boys' alliance this season. I can definitely see that.
Mm-hmm. They just seem a little similar. I do think this.
But Michael and Daniel, that's the gag though. Michael and Daniel ain't letting it happen.
They're not gonna let that happen. They're not gonna let that happen. They're not. And that's what I love about it. That's the thing.
At the end of the day, this season, I feel like you ain't letting that happen.
At the end of the day, it's still an advanced amount of variety, advanced amount of diversity that we don't usually get. That's gonna prevent the shit.
in general, on a different layer, the personalities, I think these are some really interesting personalities just overall. Like, I'm really, really interested to see how these people interact. I think it's going to be a good season.
Period. Whew.
We done, y'all.
I'm so excited. We're here. This is going to be an amazing season. Like I said, go ahead and comment how you feel about our teams. Low-key, I ate, whatever. Go ahead and comment, like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends. And make sure you check us out for the rest of the season. We're going to be covering the entire season. So why are you not subscribed? Why are you not ready to have our post notifications on and just watch us throughout the season? We're going to be actually covering the real shit. Like we said, we're going to gag, and we're going to tell you the actual factuals about what's going on in the game. We're going to make sure that we have all you guys prepped and prepared to analyze these characters, to make sure you understand who's playing the best game, who's playing the worst game, who's dating who's kissing who. Whatever you need to know, we will have it. Period.
All right, we giving you the real tea all summer. Keep
All summer.
up. And with the Challenge USA.
And with the Challenge USA. So, I mean, hey, that was it. This was fun. This was really fun. Yeah, check us out later. Bye, y'all. The fuck.
Peace.